Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is episode 57, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you are committed to investing your time and energy into mastering the business side of things. And I appreciate you because it's uncomfortable. For you as a wellness expert, as a health practitioner, it can be wildly uncomfortable having to learn about these new concepts and new strategies. But the good news is that this is what is going to get you closer to creating and sustaining that legacy that you're so passionate about. In this episode, I want to explain to you why, if like so many wellness experts, health practitioners that I see online, having a function on your website to book a free call with you, why nobody is booking free calls. A little bit of tough love in this episode because I care about you, because I so want success for you, because I am cheering you on, and because step by step you are going to learn and understand the fundamentals of marketing that are going to help you to build a profitable business as a wellness expert online. So let's talk about funnels. In this episode, I want to explain to you what a funnel is, how it works in the simplest terms, so that you leave this episode understanding what that client journey is that somebody goes on from the point that they find you for the very first time to the point at which they transact with you. That is, they purchase your service from you. When you understand that journey, that client journey, and it's just another way of describing a funnel, I'll go into a little bit more detail in that in a moment, you will feel unstoppable because, as I say all the time, you are highly qualified. You've done that part. You know your art form. You are equipped with the tools that you need to change your clients' lives. Now you need to understand the practical business elements that are going to enable you to get those clients. So I want you to imagine for a moment, and this is an awesome analogy that I learned from this rock star marketing god that is Taki Moore. He's an Australian business strategist and mentor and coach. He fundamentally works with business coaches. I have taken a couple of his programs, love and admire his work, and learnt this from him. So I want you to imagine for a moment that you are walking down a street, minding your own business, and somebody approaches you, a complete stranger that you've never met before, and they say, I want you to put your hand inside this black box. And they hold the box up to you with a cutout hole in the top that's big enough for your hand to go in, but not big enough that you can see what's inside. So you have this complete stranger in front of you saying, put your hand in here. And they might even tell you that there's something really good inside. Are you going to do that? No way. Are you completely insane? That would be ridiculous. That's a ridiculous request to ask of somebody, and you most certainly wouldn't trust that whatever's inside this box is going to be something amazing. You'd be wondering if it's something creepy crawly. Taki jokes and says it might be dog poo, and he's right. It could be anything, and you don't know this person and you don't trust them. Okay, and it's a silly analogy, but it's a perfect analogy to describe you on the internet inviting complete strangers who have just virtually bumped into you by maybe finding you on Instagram or your website and asking them to book a free call with you. And it's really helpful to understand this because for all intents and purposes, offering a free call to someone feels like a no-brainer, right? It's so generous. Here, have some free time from me to help you to unpack what it is that you need right now. I'm willing to give you free time to help you. And you're banging your head against a wall thinking, why aren't people booking discovery calls with me? Why aren't people booking calls with me? And it's because you are the stranger in the street asking somebody to do something that concerns them. And if you're honest with yourself, and as I say this, you'll kick yourself thinking about it, the thing that they are most worried about isn't dog poo, isn't creepy crawly things. In this case, the thing that they are worried about is that getting on that free call with you is going to lead to a sales pitch. And they are not ready for that. Okay, so they know deep down that there's an agenda, that there is a secondary motive, that it's not just about you giving your free time to them. They know that you're going to sell to them. And that's okay. We are going to sell to somebody on a free call, and that's not what we need to change here. What you need to understand is the client journey. So let's start from the top. And there are 5 stages. Okay, so we're going to whiz through these just so that you get a sense of the big picture and you understand why people are not booking calls with you and what needs to change. So you understand now why they're not booking a call with you. The reason that I want you to remember, first and foremost, is that most people who find you as a service provider on the internet are what we call cold traffic. And in simple layman terms, that just means that they have never met you before, that they are complete strangers to your work. It often also means, and I quite often talk about this in my content, it often also means that they don't even yet know that they have the problem that you can solve. I'll say that again. They often don't know that they have the problem that you can solve. So we put them in this category of cold traffic. Finding you for the first time and not yet knowing that they have a problem that you can solve. So not even knowing that they are your ideal client. So the last thing that they are going to want to do or feel comfortable doing is booking a free call with you. That is a great offer, and I don't want you to get rid of it from your websites or your communication. But I want you to remember that that is only going to be for a handful of people who we call your hot prospects. And so the question is, well, how do we turn someone from being cold, a complete stranger, and finding you for the first time, into somebody who's hot and ready to have a conversation with you about the work that you do? And a hot prospect is somebody who knows they have the problem that you solve, knows that they want to fix it, are ready to take action, and therefore would love to talk to you about how you can support them. How do we go from cold to hot? How do we nurture somebody through that journey? And whilst there is a lot to understand and unpack about this in terms of how to translate it into a marketing strategy, this episode is about helping you to understand the journey. And once you understand the journey, you'll understand why people aren't booking calls with you and what needs to change. So the first thing when someone finds you is that they are in this stage that we call awareness. At this point, your lead or prospect, that individual who finds you, is just becoming aware of who you are. So they are becoming aware of who you are because they have seen you on Instagram, they've seen your website, or they've seen some content in which you are featured, and it resonated with them on some level. And they are probably thinking something like, do I have the problem that this person is talking about? They're in that self-reflective phase. Am I being drawn in by what this person is sharing? So they're just asking questions. They're not, by any stretch of the imagination, ready to book a call with you. The next phase that they go through on this client journey from being cold to being a hot prospect is what we call an interest phase. Okay, and now that this person is aware of you and that they're interested and curious and asking themselves these questions, they start to enter into this interest phase where they want to learn and are more interested in learning about you and your expertise. So they want to feel understood by you and they want to connect with you more deeply. So they're now asking themselves questions like, do I feel understood by this expert? Do I want to keep learning from this expert? Do I think that this expert knows what they're doing? Right? So they want to research a little bit. They want to find out a little bit more about who you are. Is this something that I could benefit from? The third phase that your prospect goes through in that journey from becoming cold to becoming hot and ready to book a call with you is consideration. Now, at this point, and by the way, this can take a week, a day, or 5 years. We can't control the speed, but your job is to provide the content and the resource and the tools in your marketing system to support someone on this journey. And that's for another episode. This is just about understanding that framework first. So in this consideration phase, this third phase that your prospect moves into, they are ready to learn more about you, or they've done that in the interest phase, including the problems that you solve and the process that you use to get them to that desired outcome that they so badly want. They're now ready and more motivated to learn more about the specific ways in which you can deliver that service. So they now want to learn a little bit more about maybe how you work, what your fees are, what the next steps might be to have a conversation with you about paying for your service. So that's the consideration phase. So they're asking themselves now, okay, well, now that I know all this stuff about this expert, how could I work with them? What are the options available to me? What are the next steps that I need to take if I want to find out more, or I want to inquire about working with this person? Is there a form I need to fill out? What are the associated implications? The fourth step or phase that your prospect will go through on this journey is what we call evaluation. So once that you are sure that this person is the right fit for you, and, we'll talk about how that happens in another episode, right? It's called qualification and qualifying somebody. And it usually happens through them completing a form or inquiring to work with you. Then your lead or prospect is in a better position to be able to make a decision about whether they want to buy from you. So they call this the evaluation stage. And it's where this person, this prospect, is asking themselves things like, am I ready to make a change? Do I really want to make a change? Am I up for this challenge of doing the work, of committing to a protocol or a diet or a structured program? Am I committed to meditation 3 times a week? Am I committed to moving my body in the way that this expert is asking me to? Whatever the service is. Am I committed to having vulnerable conversations with this person who is a therapist or a psychologist or a nutritionist or whatever you are? Do I trust that they are the right person to help me? And is now the right time to take action? These are the questions that your prospect has on their mind when they are in the evaluation stage. The final stage is purchase. The final stage is purchase, where somebody is willing to get out their hard-earned money and spend it with you. This is the final step on the client journey where they are red hot and ready to go. This is when they make a decision as to whether now is the right time, whether this is the right solution for them. They are asking themselves, am I in or am I out? Understanding this client journey is critical for you as a business owner, as an expert in the wellness industry. When you start to create your content, when you start to create your marketing system, when you start to create your sales process, which again, all scary concepts if they're new for you, but like this episode are things that I teach my clients inside my programs. When you understand this journey, you can step back and take a look at your business and ask yourself, do I have all of the tools and moving parts and resources for somebody who is going through that journey to get to know me, to find out more about me through that interest phase, to evaluate me as a service provider, to make that final purchasing decision? Do I have all of those ingredients in my business? If the first thing you are asking somebody to do when they land on your website, and if it's the only thing you're asking them to do, is to book a free call with you or to sign up to your newsletter, which again is like a black box of putting a hole into, what am I going to get? I don't know. Is it going to be useful? I don't know. If you're presenting a black box to your prospects, knowing now through this episode that 90% of them are freezing cold, they are complete strangers to you, then a few things need to be fixed. And that's okay. The first stage of fixing your business and of setting yourself up for success is awareness, knowing what's broken. When you haven't got a clear marketing system, which we call a funnel in marketing lingo, that carries somebody through this journey, and it's logical and step by step, and it's exactly what I teach my clients, then you will struggle to convert people into paying clients. You will struggle to get people to book a call with you. And if you've been banging your head against a wall thinking, I've got a beautiful website with a great brand, or, you might not, you might just be offering this opportunity to people thinking, it's so good, I'm giving you my time, I just want to help you. And it's not an offer that's being taken up. Hopefully, this episode has given you a little bit of insight into why, a little bit of that foundational knowledge that is so critical to understand as a business owner that will help you to take practical steps forward to start to set up marketing systems in your business and strategies that help your client based on where they are right now in their journey. Not where you think they are, not where you want them to be, but where they really are in their journey. I hope that this has been helpful. As always, I'd love to hear your feedback. Reach out to me anytime. And I'll look forward to connecting with you again on the next episode. See you soon.